Hello everyone. Demitrius Johnson Dustin Twitchy initially. I was in University, Sanjay Twitchy I'm the oldest brother of McKensie Johnson, the student that was called the Bloody Indian. One thing I really want to highlight is that these were two Indigenous women, and also Kiana, who is also Indigenous. These women that go to Cibola High School, it's no coincidence that this has happened to them. When we talk about violence against Native women, this is exactly what we're talking about. It's really hard as the oldest brother to see your sister go through this, but it's even more frustrating to know that your own mother works for the district for APS, and that she is continuing to be silenced. The same way my sister feels like she's silenced at her own high school because of students and teachers really perpetuating this these microaggressions towards her. She has to go to school every day, and when she comes back home from school, and after we had dinner, I really try to talk to her and ask her how her day was, and it's always just some new bullshit. Her old friends, girls that I've met, they were in elementary school that I grew up with her, they say things in behind her back, in front of her, and these are white students, and they protect Miss Easton. They really blame this incident on her. They ask her why she spoke up. You should have stayed silent. You made this a bigger deal than you had to. And just to see those three girls really go through this, it's really hard, and it's really hard for us to try to push this forward. But I think this forum is also, it's not the best it could be. When we talk about, as Indigenous peoples, we say healing a lot, right? It's hard to heal when the knife's still in your back, and that's still where we're at. We haven't had an official apology from APS. Ms. Easton doesn't apologize. The principal of Cibola has not apologized. We just want a formal apology. That's all my little sister wants. She talks about it every day. She just wants an apology from someone, and she has not gotten that. She wants someone to, in her school, one of the administrators, just to come on the announcements or just hold an assembly, talk to these students, talk to the teachers, saying, what Miss Easton did was wrong, it was racist, but just know that we got your back and we're going to protect you. That's all we want, and it still hasn't happened yet. So, thank you for everyone for showing up. It really does mean a lot. It's hard to go through this, and it's months after the fact, and we just feel like nothing's being done, and they're trying to shove, cultural competency training down their throats and all this stuff, and it's well, we just want an apology first. Can we just get that at least? Come on. Yeah, she's here, so she probably wants to speak.
Thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. And I really want to respect your time, but it's starting too late. It's McKensie Johnson, Twitchy initially. For some of you who don't know, I'll tell a story of what happened in class that day. On Halloween, I was dressed as Little Red Riding Hood with a special effects makeup on my face, a scratch on my right cheek from the big bad wolf. The first thing I see when I get into school is a non-native dressed in a Pocahontas costume. And those Halloween costumes aren't made expensive. They don't represent us at all. It's just cultural appropriation. But I waited outside after I saw that. I got really red, so right off the bat, starting the day, seeing that, Miss Easton, she had the door locked, so we waited outside the classroom in the halls. And when she opened the door, the class was really dark, and there was a few candles on each desk and a big Promethean light at the end of the classroom. So she opened the door, said, "Don't speak unless you're spoken to," acting like a whole different person. But as kids, or as high school students, we were kind of giddy. We were excited about the day, awaiting what was about to happen, but there was no warning. We dropped our bags by the door, went to our desks, and she put on a video explaining who she was. Marie Laveau, which is a New Orleans witch, voodoo witch. She explained in the video who she was, and then she turned it off, and she read a poem. And after the poem, she asked for comprehension questions. And she said, "If you guys get this right, you will get marshmallows and a treat. But if you don't, you'll be fed dog food." And this made everybody afraid to answer, but she called on 3 people. The first guy, he didn't know, and he was offered dog food, and he refused. So she went after him with a box cutter and said, "Are you sure you don't want to eat it? It's organic." But he kept refusing, so she just moved on. And the second guy, he answered 2 of the questions that she asked. And he was offered dog food, and he refused. She moved on to the third student. She was very shy, and she didn't participate in the Halloween at all. But she was given dog food because she didn't answer the question correctly. She refused, and Miss Easton asked, "Do you like your braids?" And she said, "Yeah, I do." And she was really coy and shy, but she asked the class, "Do you think scissors would do the trick?" So she put down her box cutters, went to her desk, and grabbed a pair of scissors. She walked towards her, cut her hair. At the time, everybody thought that it was an act, that it was all planned out, but this couldn't happen. That's not her hair. Because when we heard it, it sounded like breaking celery. You could hear the cutting of her hair. And even though it was a little bit, it was really thick, but once she cut it, she just sprinkled it on her desk and walked away. So she moved on, and everybody was shocked. They didn't know what to do. They were like, "Did this really happen?" But Miss Easton offered a grammar worksheet and called the class to answer with a flashlight because, like I said, the classroom was dark. And some of them ate the dog food, kind of vomited, or not vomited, like gagged, but some of them also ate marshmallows, those who got it correct. But she sat down at the end of the classroom with her flashlight and started calling people out. So she eventually got to me and said, "Okay, what are you supposed to be, a bloody Indian?" And I was shocked, I froze, but I was mad. And you could hear the gasp in the class. And everybody was shocked, obviously, just like before with the third student. And so hearing the class being shocked and all the gasps, she asked, "Was that offensive?" And everybody was silent, was looking at me and like, "Say something." And so I said, "Yes, that was offensive." And so she said to the class, "Well, she is bloody, and she trailed off with her words, but we all know what she was going to say." And so she ended class early. She dismissed us. And I went on throughout the day, people asking me what happened. And in my history class, we were learning about broken treaties, which also got me more mad. And then at lunch, I kept getting others calling me out, saying, "What happened to Miss Easton? I didn't see her in class today." Or, "Hey, did something happen in Miss Easton?" Not even one person asked me if I was okay until my friend approached me and I told her about the whole thing. So I went to my sociology class, and in that class, we were learning about if race was real. And there are some people who didn't believe it. And there's a lot of people who did agree that it was real. But we watched a documentary about how the word came to be. And it was hurtful. I had to learn again about broken treaties and my people being murdered, their stolen land, and it really angered me. And how when the Africans came, or African slaves, when they came, they had to find a way to separate between us. And so they said, okay, well, we'll categorize them by name. We'll call these guys savages, and then we'll call these guys the N-word. So, race is a hard word. I'm sure it is a hard word for a lot of people because we know the history of it and we know the impact that it has on us. But I'd also like you guys to know that my principal, she knew about the dog food before class even started. And like I said, there's no apology. And in those 18 meetings, she's only been to 1 out of 3. I talked to some of my teachers and asked, how come our principal's not taking charge? How come she hasn't done anything yet? And they say, well, you know, she's not an active principal. She doesn't do this, she doesn't do that. And in my sophomore year of high school, I asked my peers around, like, who's that lady standing over there by the microphone? And they're like, oh, that's the principal. I've never seen her in school before. But what I want to get across today is that what happened in class that day is what I learned from my Native American Studies class, is that those kind of things like cutting hair and racial slurs in the classroom go back to boarding schools. And my people, maybe some of your parents who are older, they went through that. And I'm sorry. It still hurts me. Even though I wasn't personally affected by the boarding schools, I'm sorry it had to happen to you guys. I want my people to know that they're really smart. They can learn, but they need to give us a chance to. They need to give us a chance to respect us and give us a learning environment that's not hostile or like I feel like I'm small. Because we aren't. We're still here, we're still resilient. I'm sorry I took a lot of your time, but thank you for listening. Yeah.